Alright guys, we are here. We had a fun little day. I'll make a video later once I get it all edited. Just started. I figured, you know what, I may as well get a video of this. I got the front part off. I took off this front brace. Of course the tires and wheels are off. In my project today I'm going to be replacing the front lower bulkhead on the Traxxas XRT. I do have a couple of those already up here just because they're known to break. I've done a front upper, two rear uppers, and a rear lower bulkhead so far as the parts that I've replaced, minus front bumper mount, rear bumper wing mount, and one bent axle up to this point in time. So figured I would do a little video. So as I'm doing this, and something that works out really well for me is there's a lot of little screws and pieces. And instead of just having a pile of screws and don't know where to put them and where does this go, where does that go, where did I set my tool that I was just using, once you take out the screws and get the part out that you're wanting to take out, simply put them right back in where they go. Now it probably adds a little bit of time on disassembly and assembly, but you don't lose your pieces, you don't lose your parts. So for me, that's been very helpful in making sure that everything stays where it's supposed to stay. So I do have a little electric screwdriver. I don't like to use it on the smaller size screws. They're littler and I don't want to strip them. I do have a screw kit just in case, but of course obviously I want to replace as little as possible whenever needed. One thing I do find with this, it's always good to have a paint marker. Sometimes there's two options for where things are mounted, and I like to mark where certain things go. Again, when going back together, I don't have a question of, oh, where did that part go? So on and so forth. So that's what works out well for me. Other people, I suppose, can do it however they choose, but I like to not forget. And always another good trick, if you're never not sure, is simply take a picture. And so everybody can see, the reason we're here today is, let's see if I can get a good picture, is, it's hard to see, but if you can, here we kind of see it, that crack on the bulkhead right there is hard to see, but I am a fan of hand tools. This is a nice one. It does not go, I mean, with anything you got to be careful. You don't want to over tighten or strip out anything, but actually I just got this today. Skill, check it out, got it on Amazon. It's like 35 bucks. In my opinion, definitely worth it. And as we take that apart, it looks like we will be also doing a part that I didn't even see broken on here, and completely sheared right up. Okay, turn that here so you guys can see a little bit. So this in fact was broken. I could not see where it was broken. It's the first time it's broken in that spot for me. But again, I keep one of those on stock as well. This is the front upper bulkhead, and we'll be doing this one, which is the front lower bulkhead. So we shall continue. Okay, and one here. There's a good way to spin the drive shaft right now. Maybe. I don't think that's going to be the way to do it. Ugh. But the drive shafts bent as well. So let's see. We're getting pretty close. I've not had the front part. To the point when I go back together, because it will sit in there, I think, either direction. Maybe not, but take a photo of that. So here it is, and this is the part that broke off of right here. Let's see if we can get some good view. It broke right off. Now I could not see that while it was in there, but inevitably it would have caused this to be able to move a weak point, and so there we go. So now I can say I've done 2 upper rear and 2 upper front. I work at an auto shop and I do have grease, but of course I don't plan on doing this job this weekend, so I'm not bringing it with me. So we're gonna just save as much of this we can, just put it back on the gears. At the end of the day. lubricated pretty darn well, in my opinion. Just try to get as much as I can. Oh yeah, bent and leaving some good grooves, because you can't see it specifically, but yeah, it's definitely bent. Maybe if you can look down the, I don't know. See when you look down, there's a curve to it. And I have a new one ready to go in. So that will be coming up. So there we go. That is the removal front lower bulkhead. I'm going to take a little break here, and we'll come back and finish. All right, as we start here, we're going to start putting her back together. I did see on this piece here, we want to transfer this, and I'm glad I flipped it over as I was looking at the crack in the bulkhead. Now, after sitting here and looking at the extent of this, I'm definitely gonna look at what it's going to take to get the aluminum ones, because yeah, this is really just a using an electric screwdriver, I don't like to always just start it. I like to do it by hand. Know that you're not cross-threading something. Once you know that you're good, then feel free to fire away. Again, I like this one because it really stops at the perfect pressure. At least for this application, I think this is a really good honestly, I didn't fully charge it when I bought it, or when I got it. I just started using it, so I was happy to find out that that's how long it lasts. Pretty solid charge. But go back to this one. Now this one I do fine. I like its grip, easy. But this one will go too hard. You gotta be careful. Yeah, I think I'm gonna start getting some of these aluminum pieces and slowly make the switch. Because the pieces that break on the XRT aren't the pieces that you would expect or think. It's not the control arms. It's not the steering linkage so far, at least. Not to knock on wood, and don't want to jinx myself here, but it's these pieces that are buried in here and time consuming, and don't get me wrong, I'm enjoying this truck so much. But like I said, just the pieces that are ending up needing to be replaced are I don't think I am going to do this one, which is easy enough. I can come back and do this after. But these holes here are pulling through, so it's not sitting flush. You probably saw me looking at it a little bit ago. So I'm going to get one of those. They make that in aluminum, it looks like, also. It's going to sit back there, and we're going to continue on without that for the time being. So, could start with the suspension. There's really no reason to not really start going back with this. That bulkhead can go on after, but I think it'll be easier to get to the steering. Where we mark that we go through that top hole. and liquid. Well, guys, nice, a couple little pieces here. I think that's going to wrap up the job about to where I started with ya. I mentioned in the video I'm going to do the shocks, and I do still intend on doing those shocks tonight. And so I am not going to video that. But I am going to work on that this evening. So, yeah. So that, guys, we're about where we started with this video. This one took a little longer. I apologize for my little pause in here as I looked at some Vitavon aluminum components. So here we are back together, and I'm going to work on these shocks still. I'm going to replace that component, the front skid plate. And then really that's all that's left is the body clips, this part and the front bumper to go on, aside from the suspension. So there we are. That is a wrap.